Judo is not just a sport, a serious message from a Japanese judoka. Today, I speak to you as a Japanese judoka who has practiced since childhood. There is something I truly want to say to judoka around the world. Judo was born in Japan, and now it's practiced and loved across the globe. But please, do not see Judo as just a sport of winning and losing. Judo is Budo, a martial way. It teaches not just skills, but respect and dignity. Judo begins with a bow, and ends with a bow. At its heart are respect, self-control, and personal growth. In this video, I speak honestly, as someone who lives Judo. This is a message from my heart to those who truly love Judo. Beyond winning, there is something deeper we must protect. The spirit behind a single throw. The silence that lives within the dojo. To all who love Judo around the world, I hope you understand. These are lessons I've learned over many years of practice. And now, I want to share them with you. What is Judo really about? Judo is not just about fighting or winning. It is about learning how to live with others. We bow before and after each match to show respect, not only to our opponent, but also to ourselves. In Judo, technique is important, but mindset is everything. We train our bodies, but more importantly, we train our hearts. Through Judo, we learn patience, humility, and self-discipline. It's a way to become stronger, not just on the outside, but inside too. Many people see Judo only as a sport, but in Japan, it is also a form of moral education. Here's a question for you to think about. Do sports in your country also teach values like respect and discipline? If so, I'd love to hear how. Please share in the comments. Let's talk about how different cultures shape how we see sports. Judo's roots in Japanese culture. Judo was born in Japan, and it reflects our culture deeply. It teaches harmony, respect, and quiet strength. These are values we grow up with in daily life. In Japan, we often avoid conflict through mutual understanding. That same idea is built into Judo's philosophy. Even when facing an opponent, we seek balance, not destruction. Judo teaches us to control, not to harm. It is not about crushing someone, but guiding them to fall safely. This comes from our cultural belief in coexistence. Not winning at all costs, but growing together through challenge. Judo is not just physical, it is spiritual. Each movement carries a meaning beyond what we see. That's why Judo is often called the gentle way. Gentle doesn't mean weak. It means knowing when to yield, and when to stand firm. The founder's vision. Jigoro Kano. Judo was founded by a Japanese educator named Jigoro Kano in 1882. He was not just a martial artist, but a philosopher and teacher. He believed that strength must serve goodness. That's why he created Judo, not for violence, but for growth. He wanted people to improve themselves and help others grow too. His two main principles were Seryoku Zenyo and Jita Kyoi. The first means maximum efficient use of energy. The second means mutual welfare and benefit. In simple words, be smart with your strength, and grow together. Kano believed Judo could change society, not just the body. He introduced Judo into schools to teach discipline and morals. He wanted to raise not only strong athletes, but good human beings. That dream still lives in every dojo, in every practice, and in every bow. Judo was never about hurting others. It was always about building a better self, and a better world. Respect comes before victory. In Judo, every match begins and ends with a bow. This is not just tradition, it carries deep meaning. We bow to thank our opponent for helping us grow. Even if we win, we cannot grow without someone to challenge us. That's why we show respect before thinking of victory. Respect is not weakness, it is strength with humility. When we bow, we acknowledge our shared journey. We are both students of the same path. This is different from sports that focus only on winning. In Judo, the process matters as much as the result. How we act, how we treat others, defines who we are. Many people admire Japanese manners. But those manners are not for show. They come from a mindset that values harmony and dignity. In Judo, winning without respect means nothing. But even in losing, respect makes us stronger. The role of the dojo more than a gym. A judo dojo is not just a place to practice. It is not a gym. It is a place to grow your spirit. We take off our shoes and bow before entering. That simple act shows respect for the space and for learning. In the dojo, we don't just learn techniques. We learn how to listen, how to wait, and how to endure. The floor becomes our teacher. Every fall teaches us how to stand back up. The walls remember our effort, sweat, and quiet tears. Our partners are not enemies, they are mirrors. Through them, we see our own weakness and strength. The sensei is not just an instructor. They guide our hearts, not only our bodies. The dojo is where we learn to fight without hatred. It's where we learn that true strength comes from kindness. And that kindness must be trained, just like muscles. Discipline and self-control. In Judo, we are taught to fight our inner weakness. Before fighting others, we fight ourselves. Our fear, our pride, our anger, we must overcome them first. Even when someone provokes us, we do not strike in anger. We respond with calm, with control, and with dignity. That is the true meaning of being strong. Not hitting hard, but holding back when needed. Not shouting, but staying silent when it's right. In Judo, control is everything. We train so that we don't need to fight. We learn to walk away stronger, not just louder. I want to ask you something. In your culture, how is emotional control taught or valued? Do people admire those who stay calm in conflict? Or is loudness seen as strength? Please share in the comments. I truly want to know. Because how we define strength says a lot about who we are. Why winning isn't everything. In Judo, winning is not the only goal. Of course, we train hard to win matches. But if we forget respect, the victory means nothing. Sometimes, a loss teaches us more than a win. Losing shows us our weaknesses and opens the door to growth. I've lost many times and I'm thankful for those moments. Because each loss gave me a reason to improve. In Judo, falling is part of learning. We fall 7 times and rise 8. That spirit matters more than the medal. True strength is not measured by gold, but by how we stand back up. Some people chase glory, even if they hurt others. But that is not the judo way. We believe in growing stronger with kindness, not cruelty. Victory is sweet, but dignity is sweeter. And in judo, we value both. Judo for life beyond the mat. Judo doesn't end when practice is over. The lessons we learn on the mat follow us into daily life. We learn to respect teachers, parents, and co-workers. We learn to face pressure calmly, without panic. When I fail at work, I remember how to fall in judo. And I stand up again, just like I do in the dojo. Judo teaches us patience in stressful times. It reminds us to stay kind, even when life is hard. In Japan, many children learn judo from a young age. But it's not just to become athletes. It's to become good members of society. People often ask me, "Why do you still train?" I answer, because judo makes me a better person. It shapes how I think, how I act, how I live. That's why judo is more than sport. It is a lifelong guide, on and off the mat. Judo in today's world. Today, judo is practiced all over the world. It is an Olympic sport, with fans from every continent. But sometimes, its true meaning gets lost in competition. People focus only on strength, medals, and fame. They forget the values behind each throw and bow. That makes me feel a little sad. Because judo is not just about who wins. It's about how we grow through each challenge. Even in Japan, this shift is happening. More young athletes are chasing results, not character. I don't blame them, but I want to remind them. Judo began as a way to shape the spirit. Not just to defeat others, but to improve oneself. We must protect that origin, even as judo evolves. I hope people around the world can feel that spirit. Because that is what truly makes judo special. A message from Japanese judoka to the world. If you've watched this far, thank you from my heart. I was born in Japan, and I've walked the path of judo since I was a child. I'm speaking today not as a teacher, but as a lifelong student of this path. Judo changed how I think, how I treat others, how I live. It taught me to bow with respect, even when I fail. To stand up again, even when I fall hard. To be strong, not to hurt others, but to protect. That's the kind of strength I want to keep chasing. If you practice judo, I hope you feel the same. And if you're new to judo, welcome to a beautiful journey. This is not just a sport, it's a way of life. In a world full of conflict and noise, judo teaches quiet strength. So let's keep bowing, keep learning, and keep growing together. Judo begins with respect, and ends with respect. And that spirit, I believe, can connect us across the world. The spirit of judo may seem simple, but it holds deep meaning. How is respect and discipline taught in your culture? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share in the comments. Let's learn from each other, through judo and beyond. If you found value in this message, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and may your journey in judo continue with heart.